Welcome back. It's time now for Culture, and since it's Wednesday, I'm joined by our film critic, Lisa Nesselson. Hello, Lisa.
Good morning.
Now, Oliver Stone's latest film, Savages, is out in France today, and it's got quite an impressive cast.
Indeed it does, and the actors are all fun to watch. Savages is an ambitious, complex, fast-moving morality tale with philosophical underpinnings and excellent performances, especially from Salma Hayek, as a Mexican woman with a more than passing acquaintance with the drug trade. The film is narrated by an attractive young American woman named O for Ophelia, who may or may not already be dead when we meet her. And she's the joint girlfriend, pun intended, of two entrepreneurial male friends, Ben and Chan, with opposing views on how to manage their incredibly lucrative top-tier medical marijuana business. Their drug biz is greatly facilitated by an understanding cop, played with pragmatic gusto by John Travolta. Let's watch a scene from the film.
Welcome to the recession, boys. You should be grateful you still have a product people want.
So you don't mind if your envelope gets a little thinner then?
you guys, you know, you have a clean business, there's no problems, but there ain't no Ben and Chan without Dennis. So my envelope stays the same. Just a matter of time, guys, before they legalize it. I mean, I'd take the deal instead of decapitation. You know, keep banging that sweet California ass.
Now, France 24's Eve Jackson sat down with Travolta recently right here in Paris. Let's take a look.
This, love triangle, the way it melds into the story of the cartel, the drug cartel, is very interesting. And what people would do for love, you know, how savage will they get for love?
Oh, my God.
My man dead?
I told you they'd come for me.
That was what intrigued me the most. I mean, I was actually more captivated by the love story because I couldn't believe these people loved each other at this level.
And there's plenty more where that came from. Eve Jackson's Culture Show will be airing this evening, 5:30 Paris time. So you'll hear plenty more from John Travolta. Then, turning back to you now, Lisa, the movie is called Savages. What does that title mean?
Well, the California boys think their Mexican rivals are savages because they torture and kill people in order to protect and expand their turf. And the Mexicans think the California boys are savages because, lo and behold, they're both shacked up with the same chick. It just goes to show it's entirely in how you look at things. We look at the 14-minute trailer for Innocence of Muslims and see a laughably amateurish combo of wretched dialogue, fake beards, and botched acting that would still be unwatchable if it were the very last film on Earth. But some people, alas, see an intolerable insult to the very core of their faith. So Savages is a tale of globalization and the unfettered profit motive and the built-in lunacy of the now 42-year-old war on drugs, which doesn't seem to be working. It's not for the squeamish, and Benicio del Toro plays a drug cartel enforcer who, had he been in The Godfather, I don't think he would have left a prize racehorse's head in a man's bed. He would have left the man's head in the horse's stable.
Now, some great actors in that film, but it does sound a little bit too violent for me. Do you have any more sedate suggestions?
Well, Claire, I imagine that as a subject of Her Majesty the Queen, you will be not shaken, but rather stirred to learn that this coming October 5th is Global James Bond Day. Yes, it's been 50 years since the first of many 007 films was released. That would be Dr. No. And I bring this up because Dr. Know-It-Alls might wish to celebrate at the Dinard Festival of British Cinema, which runs October 3rd to 7th in the Brittany town of Dinard, across the way from Saint-Malo. They'll be showing a new documentary about the history of James Bond, an enticing batch of British features out of competition, as well as a lineup of 6 British films competing for one of the best-looking trophies on the festival circuit. That would be the Golden Hitchcock. Now, the Oscar is very nice to look at, but so is the Dinard Hitchcock. I happen to have its likeness on my T-shirt today, and if you put stock in Bond, as it were, you can now own every single James Bond movie ever made in this fetching box set. Just out, 23 films. Dinard, of course, is an adorable setting, and they show movies in 5 locations, so there's always something to see. And it's amazing to think that when they started this event a little over 20 years ago, they had a hard time getting together enough new British films to justify a film festival. That is no longer a problem.
It is a beautiful town. I was there last summer. I loved it. Now, the general public is welcome to attend?
Absolutely. The festival makes a point of getting French producers and screenwriters together, French and British screenwriters and producers together in hopes of having them initiate projects, but it's completely aimed at showing movies to regular folks. And speaking of regular folks, another film festival that's designed for the general public and very easy for English speakers to navigate is the Biennale, the Vienna International Film Festival in Vienna, Austria. They're celebrating their 50th edition this year from October 25th through November 7th, and they have a tradition of asking a different prominent filmmaker to create the festival trailer each year. It's been barely 2 months since the secretive and irreplaceable French filmmaker Chris Marker died on his 91st birthday, and he came up with a trailer for the Biennale, almost certainly one of his very last visual acts. Now, it stars the great pioneers and innovators of international film history, and it ends with a surprise guest. Pay close attention. Let's watch.
Now, Lisa, as a hard news professional, I always suspected that Osama bin Laden was watching Tom and Jerry cartoons while in hiding, but some of my colleagues here at France 24 thought he was watching Mary Poppins and Goldfinger.
Those were strong rumors at the time. Yes, he met a bad end, but at least he was never subjected to the horrible production values of the Innocence of Muslims trailer.
All right, thank you very much, Lisa. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Do stay tuned to France 24.
A good night's sleep, one of the pillars of good health, along with diet and exercise. Yet sleep problems affect around 45% of the population. Join us on this week's show for a rousing look at the latest sleep research.
Health, today, 10:15 a.m. Paris time on France 24.